Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, wherever you're tuning in from and whenever you're tuning in from. It's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. We're going to get started here momentarily. We'll give it another minute or so for people to jump on. A bit of a short notice live stream, so I want to give it a little bit for people to join us. If you know anybody that can join us last minute, you can send them the link, and we'll get started here in, like I said, just under a minute. I see we have quite a few people joining. Welcome, welcome. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We're going to get started here in about 30 seconds or so. Interesting day in the markets. We're going to discuss what happened with MSOS, but just sit tight. We'll get started here in about 30 seconds or so. All right, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everybody, wherever you're tuning in from. It's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today's Tuesday, December 12th, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing how well people probably are not, because unless you went short, because today was an interesting day in the markets. US MJ got absolutely destroyed. So we're going to discuss all of that and more. I'm not seeing any major news pieces that would be causing this. If anybody has found anything, please let me know. I just got back from the gym and the sauna, so I'm just trying to get caught up at everything. Been doing a lot of painting and whatnot in the new apartment as well. So been very busy, but wanted to come on, do some analysis, and potentially take a look at a trade that could be presenting itself as early as tomorrow. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. I would appreciate it. I love each and every one of you who supported me along the way, and it does help support the channel. If you could subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, you'll be notified on any future videos or whenever I go live. And like I said, we'll take a look at the MSOS per US ETF, MJ ETF that tracks all the major producers in the US. We'll talk about what just happened. I'm not seeing any news, but if anybody did come across anything, let me know. But I think it could just be mostly technical, mostly people just pricing in the fact that we might not see a DEA response and rescheduling before the end of the year. We're coming on crunch time right now, right? So USMJ gets absolutely wrecked. We're going to take a look at a trade opportunity, like I said, and then we'll jump into the chat there at the end and we'll discuss and we'll go through some questions, but I don't have that much time today, so we'll try to go through this as quickly as possible. And you can give us a follow over on X as well, which is formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. And then we recently signed up for Rumble and Odyssey as well, so you can give us a follow on those platforms as well. This was the only real thing I saw today from the Green Market Report. DEA places 6 cannabinoids in temporary Schedule 1. But that was from, I think it was from this morning. But I highly doubt that that would be what would have caused this. Plus, like I said, I'm pretty sure it was from the morning. It doesn't really have a timestamp on it. It just says December 12th. But I'm pretty sure it came out way earlier in the day. And then there was actually some decent news. Like Curaleaf announces fulfillment of TSX listing conditions and date of commencement of trading on the TSX. So we'll go through this a little bit quicker here. In connection with the TSX listing, the shares will be delisted from the Canadian Securities Exchange, CSE, at the close of markets on December 13th, 2023, and they will commence trading on the TSX on December 14th, 2023. So in a couple days. So this is good news, but like I said, not really seeing anything that would really cause this drop today. And it's just weird price action because SPY, I mentioned in my previous videos over the weekend, I think that the S&P 500 had the second highest weekly candle close ever in its history, and that we would more than likely go up in the broader market. And then MSOS had a daily bull flag target similar to the S&P 500, but we got absolutely wrecked today, and SPY hit a brand new 52-week high, and we're less than 1% away from all-time highs now. But I've been saying for a while now that I don't think that MJ is going to enter a new multi-year bull market until, and end this multi-year bear market until tech and crypto tops out. And I still think that we could see that one more euphoric blow-off top in tech and crypto. And then after that, once they enter a massive bear market, MJ will probably go down with it initially, but then it'll recover quicker and probably be the best performing asset class over the next couple of years, in my opinion, especially with all the catalysts that are looming. But just taking a look here, maybe it's the fact that we've only got, 1 week left until Christmas and holidays, whatever you celebrate. I celebrate Christmas, but the holiday season is coming around the corner here. We got about a week before really everybody checks out. Pretty much everybody kind of checking out already now. So maybe this is just the market pricing in that, oh crap, probably not going to see a response from the DEA. But as I've been saying for the last, I don't know now, at least a few weeks, I did not think that we were going to get a DEA response before the end of the year. I expected Q1, Q2, 2024 is the most likely scenario. I'd gladly be wrong on that, but I just don't see it happening with the holidays approaching. We also have tax loss selling until December 27th. It takes 3 days for stocks to settle. So the last day to sell is the 27th. And then eventually, once everything's on the blockchain, everything will settle in 3 seconds, right? Especially if they use like XRP or something like that, which settles with finality in 3 seconds. Eventually, we'll be able to trade stocks 24/7, 365, right? And it won't take 3 days to settle. Like we're in this draconian, dinosaur era of finance where, we have the internet of information, but we don't have the information of value. It takes, 3 days. Everything's clunky, slow, antiquated. We just need everything to get up to speed. And I think that's what blockchain is going to do. But until then, it takes about 3 days to settle stocks. And then January 1st, if you're Canadian like me, we get $7,000 this year for a TFSA or tax-free savings account. So my wish this year was that MJ kind of stay low. I know people were going to probably give me some grief for that, but I was hoping that MJ would stay low until my crypto alts start to go crazy. Everything in my crypto portfolio is looking really, really good. We had a pullback from Bitcoin to 45,000 to 40,000, but I think that's just healthy. And the S&P 500 definitely due for a healthy correction as well. On the weekly time frame, we haven't even seen weekly consolidation on the Bitcoin chart yet, but I think this is good overall. And then, like I said, I want to rotate a lot of those crypto profits into more beaten down MJ once we see true alt season. But with that being said, I think that, come January 1st, when I get that extra, because if you're like me, you've maxed out your TFSA, your tax-free savings account, which means that money in that account grows tax-free. So if you're like me and you haven't maxed out, you're foaming at the mouth for January 1st to come along, so you get that extra 7,000. And I'm going to absolutely put 100% of that into beaten down MJ. I'm going to be buying a lot of the MSOs. I've been holding off. I've been saying now for months that I've been holding off on buying US MJ because I just didn't see the point. Yes, safer banking. Yes, uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ. But until they uplist to the NYSE and the NASDAQ, the big money isn't going to come in, right? And then not only that, people are saying, well, rescheduling doesn't even benefit LPs. Well, I know people in Denmark. I know people from Germany. I know people all over the world that can't trade MSOS. They can't even buy MSOS, the ETF, because they can only buy NASDAQ listed names or specific names on the NASDAQ. So they can only buy like the Cannabis, the Tilrays, the SNDLs. What does that tell you, right? We're not going to see these names blow up. And then, yes, I understand 280E is way more beneficial for the US names and doesn't even really apply to the Canadian names, other than the fact that when people in Denmark, people in Germany, people abroad can't buy USMJ. I hear people commenting on my live streams all the time. I wish I could buy Cureleaf. Oh, where are you from? The US? You're in the US and you can't buy a US company. How weird is that, right? So this is why I've been holding off on USMJ. And then today I got absolutely wrecked. MSOS, RSI sitting here, what was it, 13? No, in the 12s now. So we're going to have an hourly oversold bounce here. And if people are looking, I've actually just sent some money to Moomoo, a new trading platform that I really like. It's a sponsor on the channel. They're not sponsoring this video. Full heads up. I'm just talking about it on my own whim. But I'm waiting for some money that I sent over there to arrive, and I was hoping it would have been there today because I definitely would have took this trade on MSOS. I just did a video on SNDL as well, another monster trade opportunity, but we have absolutely no hourly resistance on MSOS all the way up to 753. So if we were to start the hourly bounce, we have no hourly resistance for 23% from here. So we had a lower high, we had a slightly 1 penny bounce here on 1 hour, but realistically, basically no resistance on the hourly time frame. We went from hourly overbought to, and we actually had some hidden bearish RSI divergence with lower highs, lower lows, higher lows, higher highs, EMA 12 and 26 bear cross rather, which implied a lot more downside, that hidden RSI bearish divergence. And then we confirmed an hourly downtrend with a lower high and lower low. So all the signs were there that we were going to correct. Who would have thought that we were going to correct this much? Not me. That's for damn sure. If we take a look at some of the higher level time frames, we are 4 hour oversold as well. In terms of the daily, we're getting very close to daily oversold after coming off daily overbought. Basically touched daily overbought there with that daily upper wick. But we did have a daily bull flag that was looking to play out, and an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross targeting about 893. But I said I was skeptical because the S&P 500 was likely due for weekly consolidation and already hit its bull flag rather. But today, SPY didn't even show any signs of strength or weakness, and if anything, it's just continues to show signs of strength. If I go to the weekly time frame, last week was the second highest weekly candle close ever. So I'm sitting here scratching my head today, and I don't know if everybody else, let me know in the comments below, what the hell happened to MJ, especially US MJ. But here's SPY bouncing to another daily higher high today. I mentioned we were probably going to see upside this week because of the highest second weekly candle close ever, and then maybe weekly consolidation over the next, maybe towards the end of this week or maybe next week. And then we saw some cracks in the crypto armor, which is showing a little bit. Also, gold and silver, precious metals confirmed weekly downtrends, showing weekly down consolidation. So actually, I'm not sure if they confirmed weekly downtrends. I know they're in weekly consolidation, losing the low of the last week. So don't quote me on that. I have to bring up the chart real quick. We can do that real quick, actually. Just one sec. Gold, silver. No, just weekly consolidation. So we didn't confirm a weekly downtrend. We're in a weekly uptrend on silver. Low, high, higher low, and higher high. Weekly consolidation. Consolidation just means we're losing the low of the previous weekly candle. Gold. So some cracks in the armor here as well. Huge bearish reversal candle here last week on the weekly time frame, and then weekly consolidation this week, but weekly uptrend remains as long as 1931 holds. So again, we're seeing rotation, but we're seeing some cracks in the armor here. Precious metals, Bitcoin, and that could increase the odds that just risk on assets, right? So that increases the odds that we could see that on the S&P 500 at some point soon. We're also coming up to a double top here on the RSI and the S&P 500. So look for this to potentially mark weekly consolidation and a temporary top on the S&P 500. If we do start weekly consolidation, it'll just be healthy. It'll be for the first time in 7 weeks. And then we'll look for a pullback to around 447 or 440, which would be the weekly EMAs. And we also have a gap there at 441. So I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we did drop down to that. But like I said, likely due for weekly consolidation. But this is just crazy, the amount of selling going on here on massive volume. Still not near daily oversold, and we close near the low of the day today. So there's a good chance that we could open lower tomorrow. And look at that volume coming into the end of the day, but a nice looking volume climax here on the hourly time frame. Wouldn't be surprised if we gap down or open lower and then bounce. So the trade opportunity here would be to play on an hourly oversold bounce. So as you can see, we haven't bounced on the hourly time frame in 12 hourly candle bars. So the second we break the high of the previous hourly candle, hourly bounce underway. It's more than likely just going to result in a lower high, in an hourly downtrend continuation, and even potentially an hourly bear flag. So if we just take a quick look at the level here. So let's just say this is our temporary bottom, and we start the hourly bounce into tomorrow. Anything under the 0.32 fib there at 664 is an hourly bear flag potential. And then if we were to see that confirm, you take your move from the low to the high, move that out to your 0.32 fib there at 664. And you're looking at a bit of measured move down to 536, which also lines up with a previous fib level as well. So again, we're still premature. We haven't even started the hourly bounce, and then we'll have to see how big of a bounce it is. If it's weak, if it can't get over 664, that'll be weak, and an hourly bear flag is possible. And then in order to confirm it, we would need to lose the low there. So let's just say hypothetically, this is our low. We start the hourly bounce tomorrow. We can't get over 380, the 0.382 at 664, and then we come down and lose this support right here. That would confirm it. So that level would be 610, and then we'd be looking for the bear flag target to play out. But as of right now, it's too early to tell. But like I said, the bounce play here would be an hourly oversold bounce. The RSI is absolutely destroyed. We're 4-hour oversold. The last time we were hourly oversold was way back here when the price was sub $5, I believe. Yep, $4.92. So this could be an absolute monster swing trade here, or potentially day trade, depending on how you want to play it. But I would say more likely a nice day trade here leading into tomorrow. So the simple statement would be, if we break the high of the previous hourly candle, let's say into tomorrow, the high of the last hourly candle, 627. If we break 627, you could go long, set your stop below 610, and then look to play it even to just the EMAs. That'd be about a 7% trade op, or 11%, a little over 11% if we make it to EMA 26. So this is looking really, really good. Could be a nice, 5, 10 plus percent day trade into tomorrow. But just be careful and cautious, because people, when we're seeing pullbacks and daily oversold bounces, hourly oversold bounces, they're generally almost like catching a falling knife, and emotions are high, they're elevated. So if you're not familiar with this, if you're not comfortable trading hourly oversold bounces or oversold bounces in general, you may want to just kind of take a paper trade. And that's something I like about Moomoo as well. I've been using their platform a lot, and they have a paper trading option as well. You can trade fake money, right? So anyways, looks like a really good trade opportunity setting up into tomorrow. And like I said, I'm just hoping that MJ stays this low until January 1st when I get that TFSA 7,000 extra contribution room, because I'm all maxed out. Just can't wait for that to to add to my TFSA contribution room. But yeah, we lost the 10-week moving average here. We're seeing a bear cross of the stochastic, the MACDs crossing bearish as well. So not looking too hot whatsoever. We are back testing the 50 weekly average there at 626. So if we can close the week over the 50 weekly there at 626, I'll call it a bit of a save for the bulls, but definitely getting smacked down. And this is something that we could have expected as well. If you take a look at a name like Tilray, right, some of the leaders in the space, we had our golden crosses, right, the first time since Dems took control of the Senate on the run up to February 2021 highs on hopes of legalization. And then we had the death cross, then we had a golden cross. And then usually what happens is you're in this disbelief phase, right? This investor psychology cycle where when you're down 90, 80, 90+% in a multi-year bull market, everybody thinks it's just going to go to zero. There's never going to be a time where MJ hits euphoric levels or all-time highs ever again. If anything, it's just going to zero and it'll cease to trade. The plant's going to go away forever and never exist, right? That's just the mentality that people have, right? Even though we have all the signs in the world to say that, you know, look at British American Tobacco, like 124 million, I think, in the organogram. You know, these companies aren't just pissing money in the wind, right? So it's obviously not going away. It just does what every new nascent, emerging, burgeoning industry does, emerging market. We see whipsaws to the up, whipsaws to the down, and it just gets exuberant to the upside, exuberant to the downside, where valuations make absolutely no sense. And generally, when we're looking for a massive reversal like this and a golden cross, what does every basic technical analyst know about technicals? Oh, a golden cross, a death cross, a head and shoulders, an inverse head and shoulders. So whenever we're in a multi-year bear market looking to potentially start a new bull market, people see a golden cross and they're like, okay, I'm all in. And then we see that disbelief phase of the investor psychology cycle. Oh, this is just another suckers rally. You know, I'm in disbelief. There's no way that this is going to be the end of a bear market. And then usually when monthly uptrends confirm and we're looking for that monthly higher low and this final shakeout, that's when people get capitulating. They capitulate, and then we see that capitulation amongst all retail investors, and then we get the spring phase, right? So I think this is just that final shakeout before the massive breakout. But like I said, I didn't expect anything really to happen before the end of the year. We have tax loss harvesting. It's pretty much a virtual certainty at this point. There's no guarantees in life, especially in financial markets. The only guarantee is no guarantees. But yeah, there's like a week left before the holidays. I can't see it happening this month, and then maybe Q1, Q2, 2024. It's an election year, so I think they'll want to get something done before that, and then it'll have to get signed off from the DOJ and then go through some other regulatory hoops, right? So it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to be a quick, you know, it's not going to be a straight line up. They're going to ebb and flow it. What do you think these money markets, these market makers, these institutional investors, these Wall Street banks are going to do? They're going to create ebbs and flows, waves, right? So that they can sell the top, get you to buy the top. They'll buy the bottom, you'll sell the bottom, just like every retail investor has done for eternity, right? So like I said, watch this hourly oversold bounce, trade opportunity into tomorrow. I'll be keeping everybody posted in the Pow Group private community. I do have a busy day tomorrow, but for Pow Group private members, I'll keep you posted on the trade opportunity into tomorrow. I did post that for Pow Group private members just before the end of the day, but we didn't start the hourly bounce. So like I said, if we break the high of the previous hourly candle into tomorrow, things could really start to heat up. But again, if we just zoom out to the monthly, keep it simple. We're not even starting monthly consolidation, right? We're not even losing the low of last month. We'd have to lose 532 to start monthly consolidation. And we still have the potential for a monthly uptrend here. We have a low, high, higher low. That was a monster opportunity to enter there at 492 with stop below 478 on a monthly higher low, looking to change a monthly trend. And this is usually when people get faked out, right here in these monthly higher lows, right? So no major red flags whatsoever on the longer term time frame. Daily time frame, the only flag here, I would say it's a green flag. It's a buy flag, but obviously not financial advice. This is for entertainment and informational purposes only. You should never buy or say anything based on anything that I say or anything that I write. We do have a small brief support level there at 595, but realistically after that, nothing until 492. We can take our fib level as well, and we can draw it from the low to the high here. Actually, let's just get rid of this previous one, because that's not really as relevant anymore. So if we just go from the swing high to the swing low, or swing low to swing high, we do have the golden pocket coming up there at 598, and then the 0.786 fib at, what does that say? I can't see, 550. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Just, you know, we already had the EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. We had some upside, and now we're seeing a EMA 12 and 26 bear cross and daily consolidation, weekly consolidation. and we knew that weekly consolidation was coming. This is another example of what SPY is going to do, right? SPY hasn't consolidated on the weekly time frame now in 7 weeks. Haven't confirmed a weekly uptrend. We went from 409 to all-time highs, basically less than 1% away from all-time highs with no weekly uptrend confirmed. We are no longer in a downtrend because this lower high, lower low pattern was broken here on this candle the week of November 6th. Once we broke the high here at 438, that broke the lower high, lower low pattern. So on the week of November 6th, we were no longer in a weekly downtrend, but the trend was flat. We didn't have a higher low and a higher high, right? We didn't get this. So we need the higher low and the higher high, but this goes to show you how manipulated this market is. And yeah, when we consolidate, we're going to be consolidating in a big way. So now we take a look at MSOS and we say, okay, how long was it for MSOS before it saw weekly consolidation? 6 weeks. SPY's at 7. MSOS is at 6. What's been stronger? The S&P 500 names, tech, right? Chips, AI, right? All these, the Fortune 500 names, right? The S&P 500 names. What hasn't been strong? MJ. So it's kind of natural to see MJ consolidate first. And then, like I said, I think it's because people are kind of pricing in that, oh, maybe we were a little bit too ambitious and hopeful of rescheduling news before the end of the year. So it all comes with experience, right? You're just looking at the mainstream media and they want you to believe a certain thing. And that's why I'm skeptical, right? When everybody in my YouTube comments was saying, oh, we're going to get rescheduling for the end of the year, I was like, no, we're not. Just because 80 or 90% of you think we are, right? So again, you don't want to be trapped in that herd mentality. So we started weekly consolidation. No, not even any major red flags here whatsoever. We're just looking for another weekly higher low and higher high. If we can get a weekly uptrend here, we have the ability to change the monthly uptrend as well. So if we can form a weekly higher low, start the weekly bounce into the new year, and then break into a weekly uptrend, then we'll look at resistance here at 988. If we break 988 and on this consolidation we hold 478, then it's a monthly uptrend confirmed, and we're likely heading to EMA 26 there, which is sitting at 1345. And if you take a look at names like Cureleaf, one of the strongest names in the space, it actually got above its EMA 26 on the monthly time frame just a few months ago on that recommendation to Schedule 3 from HHS. So if Cureleaf did it, AYR was another name that's in a monthly uptrend. That's very strong as well, came very close to its monthly EMA 26. So if all these names in the US are starting to do it, what do you think MSOS is going to do? The ETF that tracks all the major names, probably going to head up to its monthly EMA 26. So again, if you enter now and then play to that, that's about 125% of upside from here. But like I said, this hourly oversold bounce is likely going to be a monster trade opportunity. All right, I'm out of breath. People say I talk fast. Got to talk fast. I got a lot to say, not a whole lot of time to say it. Sorry. YouTube has a slow down function. You can do half speed. What the hell happened for real? Absolutely. Like what? Absolute craziness. Orlando, welcome. Love it. Love it. I have tons of friends in Orlando. Last time I was there, partied a little bit too hard though. And Vegas. I'm not allowed to go to Orlando or Vegas for a long time. I couldn't find any news on anything either. Yeah, I don't think so. Pretty much just, yeah, short squeeze incoming. Yeah, I mean, what a buying opportunity. Like I said, this hourly oversold bounce on MSOS is going to be massive. Hello from Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome, welcome. Never been, would love to go. Here in Calgary, nice. Been to Calgary lots of times, Lucas. Welcome. Thanks for joining the stream. I'm in Edmonton, so hello from Edmonton. IWF up as well as SPY today. Strange day for MJ. Yeah, I was looking at all of the indices. SPY busting less than 1% now from all-time high. I think it's just, people are getting FOMO into the AI, into the chips, into crypto, into, the big names, the tech names. And just MJ doesn't, like, people are capitulating, right? They're like, they're going to go and they're going to buy something that's trending. It's hot. It's, at all-time highs or close to all-time highs. And then they're going to capitulate, sell, and then MJ's going to rocket into the new year, in my opinion. But obviously we don't know for sure, but I think the odds of that happening are very, very high. But yeah, I just think MJ's not really at the focus right now, and a lot of people are kind of writing it off, saying that, we're probably not going to get this rescheduling into the end of the year. But yeah, so many catalysts, right? We could see rescheduling, maybe DEA response in the next 1 to 2 quarters. I think we should get some kind of response before the third quarter, so the back half of next year. I think in the first half of 2024 we should get it. We've got Safer uplisting the NYSE and the NASDAQ. We've got Cureleaf listing on the TSX. That's a trend that we're starting to see. Once they all start to trend to the Toronto Stock Exchange, then it'll probably be the US exchanges next, right? Like the NYSE and the NASDAQ, more than likely the NASDAQ. We got Germany vote coming in early 2024, so we should see go live on Germany at some point in 2024. We have New York opening up to MSOs as well. We've got the MJ Act for review here in Canada, where we could see edibles increase from 10 milligrams to 100 milligrams. We could see excise tax improvements as well. What else? We got Florida potentially on the ballot. We got Ohio, Pennsylvania, Minnesota. Like, what else could you really want? There's so many catalysts on the horizon. We just got to be patient. And like you say, Warren Buffett said it best. The stock market is a mechanism from transferring wealth from the impatient to the patient. So which one are you? Are you patient or are you impatient? So yeah, Kira just announced beginning of trading on TSX tomorrow. Yeah, I did cover that. Thanks, Leisha. I'm buying the dip first thing in the morning. I'm long an MSOS, and this will just be a chance to lower my average cost. Absolutely, Henry. Like I said, I've been holding off on USMJ for a long time. I might add some tomorrow as well. Like I said, I'm waiting for some money to hit Mumu, and that might happen tomorrow, so it could be a nice opportunity and timing there. But yeah, watch SNDL. If you haven't seen that video, I did a trade opportunity on that one. And if you're just joining this stream, or you want to rewatch it again, rewatch the MSOS trade opportunity that I mentioned, because I think SNDL and MSOS more of a short-term trade, day/swing, and short to medium term, and then SNDL is going to be more medium term, right? Medium to long. It could be a couple months for that to play out, but you never know. Sometimes things change in a hurry, and like I said, I think MSOS is going to be a great day trade potentially, and yeah, we'll keep everything, and we'll keep checking in on everything as well over the next couple of days, but yeah, I'm going to look at, I don't hold that much MSOS ETF. If you haven't seen my MJ portfolio video, I do a top 5 holding, and then I do another video of my entire MJ portfolio breakdown with percentages. It has changed quite a bit, so I'll have to do another update video soon on that. But yeah, definitely looking to add some more MSOS and USMJ, and right now everything's looking good. So definitely going to be taking advantage of the dip into tomorrow, and then like I said, fingers crossed that into January MJ remains low. I mean, even if it goes up 100% or 200% from current levels, it's still insanely cheap compared to where things were in February 2021 and all-time highs, right? So I'm not really worried at the end of the day, but yeah, definitely going to be a buyer here as well. I feel like profitable MJs like Intercure and IIPR are doing well. My maps got wrecked. Yeah, I mean, look at GTII, right? GTII is profitable, one of the big names. I didn't actually check that specific name today, but what was it down today? GTII, down almost 10%, right? So what else? Who's down the most? AYR down the most. They got a lot of debt. CL, so Cresco, Cura, TrueLeaf. Yeah, like just the tier 1 US MJ MSO just got absolutely wrecked today. But yeah, I mean, I don't really think it, personally, I don't think it has to do with profitability. If you look at the Canadian MJ names, didn't really participate in the bloodbath as much. We had High Tide down the most, and of my major names down 7.5%, CGC down 6.5%, Tilray only down 2% on the day today. So a lot of people complaining that Tilray was down a lot over the last couple of weeks and hasn't really been performing well when we're going up. But when things are down 15%, 20% in a day, no one's saying, oh, look at Tilray, it's only down 2%, go Tilray. They only complain when it's not going up. So funny. But USMJ has a lot of catching up to do, right? Canadian MJ has been way more beaten down from its February 2021 and all-time highs. So that's why I've been holding off on US MSOs, is because I figured the industry moves together. It's going to be a while before we see big money enter the space, before we uplist on the NYSE and the NASDAQ. And it's going to be a while before, even if we get HHS approval from DEA, that doesn't mean that SAFE goes away tomorrow. Like, there's going to be a process, right? It's going to be a grace period, right? There's going to be some time in between for that to happen, right? It's not a, flick of the fingers. Time to buy. MedMen, MMNFF. I would like to look at it. I do hold it in my portfolio, full disclosure. I am a shareholder of MedMen. I think that it's worth the risk. I can't take a look at it right now. I do have to get wrapping up here, but perhaps in the near future, I'll do a ticker request video and we'll dive into some names. I have to get going. I have some painting to do and not a lot of time to do it. I got to hit up Costco and get some stuff for the holidays and whatnot. So running low on groceries as well. So got to try to juggle everything. Bought 100 GTBIF shares and some SNDL and Tilray. Nice. Yeah, I'm looking at SNDL. I'm pretty much bags are packed on Tilray. If it drops below 150, I might buy one more time. But yeah, I'm looking at SNDL and a lot of the US names. I really like Cureleaf as well. probably my top pick in the MSOs. Why we get hit? Yeah, no one really knows at this point. I think it's mostly just the fact that people are pricing in the fact that we're probably not going to see DEA response before the end of the year. Tax loss harvesting. We have, just MJ not really being at the spotlight right now. We have a lot of euphoria in other markets. Like they mentioned, a lot of the indices today were up. People in the I mentioned it, and a lot of people in the chat mentioned it. Indices were up. SPY had the second highest weekly candle close ever last week, busting to another daily high today, less than 1% away from all-time high. But MJ just hasn't participated in the everything bubble of 2022 and 2023, and potentially into 2024. But like I said, if we enter a bear market on the tech sector and the broader market, MJ will probably get hit as well, briefly. But then I think MJ is going to recover quicker and the best, and could be the best performing sector in the next couple of years. Outperform the broader market drastically, in my opinion. And then it could be just a mix of technicals as well. Like I said, we were due for weekly consolidation on the MSOS chart. Still haven't confirmed a weekly uptrend, so now we're consolidating, looking for a weekly higher low, and we could see a trend change attempt, and we could change the weekly trend and the monthly trend all in one go. If you zoom out to the monthly, when in doubt, zoom out, look at the monthly, no major red flags. We're not even starting the monthly consolidation, losing the low of last month, and we still have the ability for a monthly uptrend. So there's no major red flags long term here at all on the monthly time frame. Hi, Middle Europe here. Nice. Welcome, Roman. Can you look at Canopy? I would love to. Like I said, I can't really dive into each individual names at the moment. But yeah, Canopy held up a lot better than a lot of other names. But like I said, I'll try to do another video at some point for the public over the next few days, and we'll do some ticker requests. Started positions in Tilray, SNDL, Cura at the close. Very nice. And your name's Nice Man. Nice, man. MJ is the only sector shorts can successfully short. Yeah, it's been a cash cow for them, right? I mean, keep doing it until it doesn't work anymore, right? Glad I waited till today. Almost added them yesterday. Yeah, absolutely. That was a great call. And like I said, still tax loss harvesting until December 27th, and then fingers crossed everything remains low into January when I get that 7,000 TFSA room. My top holding is GTBIF. Yeah, I just recently added them. It wasn't in my MJ portfolio last time I did it, but I did add them slightly. It's less than 5% of my MJ portfolio holdings, but that's one of those names I've been holding off on adding. And then, like I said, a lot of my TFSA room come January 1st is probably going to be for the US MJ names, and yeah, Green Thumb definitely in there. Why XRP actually the most lagging crypto? It's common. It's common. It usually is the last one to run at the end of the cycle, and it's going to melt phases. I just actually posted that in the Power Group private community today. We're seeing a weekly 50 and 100 weekly moving average bull cross, and we could see it. We're like 4 pennies away from a 50 and 200 weekly moving average bull cross. Last time that happened, price went from 17 cents to $2. This time we have legal clarity, so get ready for some massive upside. All right, going down it there. Hope you have a fantastic evening. Thank you everybody for joining the live stream, and like I said, we'll do another live stream at some point soon for the public. We'll do some ticker requests, but I love each and every one of you. Hope you have a fantastic evening. Keep an eye out on MSOS for an hourly oversold bounce trade opportunity into tomorrow. Obviously not financial advice, entertainment and informational purposes only. Don't buy it because I said. And keep an eye on SNDL as well. My MSOS average is 542. Nice, that's a great average. All right, have a fantastic evening, everybody, and we'll see you again on the next video.